want 3 points because they were scoring a touchdown. We'll see if they can do. He rifles one that's intercepted. Picked off at the 47, and they will set up shop at yard line. Unfortunately for him, if last week was any indication, we knew a pick was coming at some point. Last week it was interception after interception, and here we go again.
We actually quit counting last week at a certain point because I thought I was going to run out of fingers, right? Because I'm not all that skilled as a mathematician. But you're right. It felt like a matter of time, and you got to think the guys on defense, they couldn't wait for this opportunity after what they saw on tape.
These two teams all tied after one. Ready for the second quarter from Houston. It's the Texans in possession of the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. This offense finding its legs now. Here's another 1st and 10. Now Washington. And give him about 3 as he gets it down to the 22-yard line.
What's the old expression, 3 yards in a cloud of dust? In this case, it's dust-covered pellets. It's no longer that old grass that we used to play on, right, and chew it up. Now we've got that artificial surface. You see the pellets go up. Still a nice play by the defense.
The last run got 3. Now here's 2nd and 7. Now it's Watson. And complete over the middle, Safarian Jenkins. And they'll bring him down at the 18-yard line. 4 yards on the completion, and it sets up a 3rd down. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And he'll find QT on the right side complete. Good defense holds him to only a yard, and it'll be 4th down.
One hallmark of good defenses is understanding the game, understanding positioning, and tackling immediately in the secondary after catches. I think we just saw that on display right there.
Got to him before he ever had a chance to think about turning it upfield. So we're trading first-half field goals. No breakthrough on the touchdown front. Got a 6-3 game.
Yeah, and I know so many people look at a game through offensive eyes, right? They want to see how the game's played that way. You know how I'm going to view it, right? The defenses, to me, have responded well in this game. Like what I'm seeing from them, both of them hoping to keep it to field goals and not give up big touchdowns.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They've shown precious little here offensively thus far as they try again with a 1st down now. Eluding the pressure right. And he's taken down, trying to do a little too much, getting outside of the pocket, and it results in a sack. It's a sack for Mitch Unrein. You never want to give up a sack. From the O-line's perspective, they hate it for several reasons, especially because they felt like they let little brother down back there in the pocket.
Oh, no doubt. They have a ton of pride, and they go into every job wanting to keep that guy clean.
And he's going to go down again. J.J. Watt, he continues to wreak havoc in the offensive backfield. Sack number 16 on the year. After the sack, they'll come up now 3rd and long.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised to see them run the ball here just to try and get some space.
Flacco airing it out for Hamilton. And it falls incomplete after almost being a pick there would have been great. The good news for the defense now, it's 4th down. The Broncos send out their punter now as the drive goes backwards, so he's on to punt it away. Fielded just inside the 30. A big boot that time. 57 yards the official distance. And the Texans will take over with a 1st and 10. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And they're not going to play this conservative, I don't think. They had the field goal last time, and they're up, but they're looking to put a drive in the end zone.
Oh, I agree with you totally. No one goes out on the field and says, all right, let's just settle for 3, except in certain situations, trying to ice a game, that sort of deal. Most of the time, it's end zone, and that's what you're thinking, and I believe that's exactly what they're thinking as they begin this one.
Yeah, no quarterback ever goes out there saying, hey, let's get 3, right?
Not one that I've ever met.
Now this throw caught left side. And he'll go down, but not before getting this inside the 30. A gain there of 30 big ones.
I know we love our jobs, and pretty much any play we see, we're pretty, excited about. But big plays, let's face it, that's what we absolutely live for. How about that one?
That was great, and what our camera missed was the fist pump from the sideline after that catch. They're fired out. That's a big gain. A throw there, but that's going to wind up incomplete. Once again, they'll come up on the 26-yard line, 2nd and 10. They run with Washington. And he'll be brought down at the 21, just shy of the 20 in the red zone. Justin Simmons up from his safety spot to make the tackle. A 3rd field goal in the first half, not what they're looking for as they come up on 3rd down. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself.
Partner, I think that completion takes the definition of dink and dunk to a different level, doesn't it?
It does, and the defense was right there, kind of played into their hands. So now here comes the field goal team for the 3rd time today. Right hash, 37-yard attempt. The kick by Fairbairn is good. And the lead will increase to 6 now. It's 9-3. So he's been a busy man here in this first half. That's 3 field goals for him now.
And not just 3 field goals, but 3 for 3. So even though the offense has struggled a bit putting it in the end zone, it's still been able to come away with points due to his leg.
And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And they're coming off a 3-and-out, my friend.
I think they've got to look at that play sheet and go to a spot that they haven't gone before. Time to shake things up a little bit to try and get this offense moving.
Okay, so how do you do that? How do you shake things up?
You look at what you've called before, realize it hasn't worked
so well. Go to something else.
And maybe try and find one of those special plays from one of your better players, and maybe try and hit something big and get things going in the excitement area.
From the 27, Flacco, and he can't find a receiver, and he's brought down. To Sean Gibson, give him the sack on the safety blitz.
And it's 3rd down. 3rd and 13.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. And we'll remind you that coming up at halftime, we'll join Jonathan Coachman and the gang in Orlando. Coach will have stats and scores from the early games going on here around the NFL. Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
It's always a goal, and it's really nice defensively when you can rally to the football and make sure there's enough contact to force an incompletion.
Force an incompletion and force another punt. He's been a busy man here in this first half as he gets it away. And he fields it cleanly. So a change of possession here on the punt. And the offense will take over with a new set of downs. Houston's offense already at the line, set to get going. And they split the uprights last time for 3. They've got the lead. They're not going to play this conservative. They're not hoping for another field goal. They're hoping for a touchdown.
I'm with you on that one. I like where your head is. I like the way you're thinking because you're exactly right. Try it that way. That doesn't work too well for most teams. Run your offense. Run what you do best. Exactly. Put it all the way down and try to increase your lead in a big way. The best way to do it?
He'll be brought down by the Broncos. It's a sack. Bradley Chubb in there to get him, and that is sack number 6 now for him on the year. The Texans on 3rd down. They've only converted once in 4 tries. This will be 3rd and 6. And the pressure gets to him again. Now the Broncos are going to call the first of their timeouts as the clock will stop with 55 seconds to go until halftime. 4th down, so the Texans dial up the number of their second-year punter, Trevor Daniel, as he's on to punt for the first time this afternoon. It's a net of 40 there, a punt of 48, and a return of 8. And the Broncos take over, first down and 10. An update from around the league as our first one comes from New Orleans. And the Saints, they've now opened up a 2-touchdown lead. That'll be a game to monitor as we go along. Now Flacco. He's got his 6'5 receiver. That's Tim Patrick. Successful start to the drive, 17 yards, and moves the sticks. The big play to start him out. Has him at the 45 already. From the gun, Flacco. He'll let this go for the end zone. And that will be incomplete with a clock showing 18 seconds now to go. He was looking for Tim Patrick that time. And it's second down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well.
I love how you put it together. The front and back working in sync, only way to play good defense.
Now the Broncos going to use the second of their timeouts as they'll stop the clock with 12 seconds to go in this first half. On first down, Flacco. And incomplete there, almost picked off. That's one you maybe expect your roaming free safety to come up with. But it's second down. So after the incompletion on first, now second and 10. Once more, it's Flacco. And that will be incomplete. 4 ticks left here on the clock. So on now is Brandon McManus. He has hit from as far away as 57, but that was in Denver. And this will be spotted on the other side of the field. It's a 61-yard attempt. And I don't think this has the carry. It does not. It's no good. So we have reached halftime in what's a 6-point game at the break. As we send you on over to Orlando for Jonathan Coachman in our EA Sports halftime report. Take it away, Coach. It's the Texans in front, and they're going to get the football first as we are back underway in the third quarter. This will be fielded on the back line of the end zone.
Let's go, baby.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They have the lead. Now they'll be looking to extend that lead.
And this is where I enjoy talking about one of my favorite subjects, tendency breakers, or counters as I also like to call them. You've done things in a certain way in the first half, and they've had the ability to see what you've done. They're going to make their adjustments. So guess what? You adjust yourself and try and stay ahead of the pace because you are looking for some separation in this ballgame.
The adjustment to the adjustment.
Without a doubt. Show him one thing, hit him with something else.
And they get him down, but not before he takes it across the 40-yard line. 16 yards, a first down.
Check, 47.
First and 10 at the 41.
Watch safety creep. Watch safety creeping. Safety's creeping. Check. Check out.
Now a first down throw, Watson. And he's able to get this one out closer to midfield across the 45. 5 yards on the catch there, brings up second down. Second and 5 after the 5-yard completion on first down. To the air yet again, Watson. That's caught. It's DeAndre Carter. And he'll get it into enemy territory just across midfield at the 49. A gain of 5, good enough for the first down. So a first and 10 now in Denver territory at the 49-yard line. Watson looks to throw again. And that is incomplete. He couldn't hold on through the contact. Brings up second down.
We've seen good cover skills on display throughout this game, really from both teams. And there's another nice example there of them making it difficult to complete a pass.
So now second and 10 after the incompletion on first down. And he's going to have the hook up to QT.
The goal of a wide receiver screen is get enough blockers in front to create a wall and let him pick his spot to run the football. How about the defense there, swarming to it and not allowing that to happen, did not let him get downfield.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And he can only manage to get this to the 45-yard line. Well short of the first.
Everyone's got to be able to catch the football. Doesn't matter what position you play, but if you're on offense, be aware a ball may come your way.
And this one hits at the 3 and then bounds into the end zone for a touchback.
At their own 20-yard line.
The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. And with the way this offense has played thus far, to be frank, they got to feel pretty grateful to be in the ball game.
I would agree with you totally because they've done all of nothing offensively in this game. Yet, they still find themselves in a position on this drive where a touchdown can give them the lead. They need to take advantage of it.
Well, they're still looking for that first touchdown here in the third quarter. All they have so far, the field goal. And they're able to get this one across the 35. It's a pickup of 17 and a first down. So here's a 1st and 10 at the 38. Flacco from the gun. Over the middle, complete. It's Sanders. And able to rip off a big chunk of yardage before being dropped inside the 40. Call that a very strong gain of 24. On first down, it's Lindsey. Merciless.
Tough first half for him, unable to put up the numbers he's used to producing. But with a guy like him, you and I both know it just takes a couple of explosive touches for him to make an impact on this game and on the stat sheet as well.
From the 36, Flacco. Into double coverage, and it's intercepted. Picked off at the 11. And he's free going down the left side. It's a foot race, and it's a touchdown. Well, when both guys went up for the ball, I just thought, who's going to come down with it? I didn't think he'd come down with it and then take it all the way for a touchdown.
That's battling, isn't it? Because normally, if both guys go up for it and come down with it, the tie goes to the offense. The defensive player didn't want it to be a tie at all. He wanted a little bit more, took it, and went the other direction.
Now Watson, he's going to lead the Texans up to go for 2. After the interception, here's Watson. And he's got it. So the try for 2 successful, and that bumps their lead up even further. So they'll get another shot on offense following that pick 6, and now the kick is away. This will be taken very short. And they're going to start this drive in pretty good shape as they get it up past the 30.
Let's go.
At their own 33-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time, decent field position through the pick 6. Obviously costly.
But they can't.
Oh, this is taken in. It's complete. Give him 32 on the play. Well, what do you think? Maybe got away with one? I mean, he's thrown 2 picks already. That looked pretty dangerous.
And it had a little hang time on it. So what he needs to do right now, hug it out a little bit with his guy. Because he went up and made a play on the football and kept him from potentially throwing that 3rd interception. There was some trust in there. There was also some hope.
17 yards for the Broncos there as they've got themselves a first down. On first down, right back to Lindsey. And he'll get about 3 as he's taken down at the 14-yard line.
Well, they still have time to get him established, but in my estimation, they've got to pick up the urgency here. They've got to get quickly in and out of the huddle and run off a bunch more plays.
6 guys. Check 6 guys. Hurry up.
On 2nd and 7, Flacco. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Gosh, you add up last week and this week now, that's 9 interceptions in this 2-game stretch, and we're not done here.
It's almost as if they can't even believe their eyes. Or maybe, partner, is the confidence level in him so high that they believe he'll get out of it and make plays for them to win a game.
Well, they've said they believe in him. That's being tested right here. Now here's a pass on first down that's knocked away and incomplete. After the incomplete pass, here now is 2nd and 10. Running it, Washington. Looking for a cutback lane, but nothing there as he's met at the line of scrimmage. On the stop that time, it was Josie Jewell. Now, they struggled to get him rolling on the ground in the first half, and that's sort of continuing here in the third quarter.
Yeah, but I don't think it's time to abandon the running game. I would say keep feeding the horse, and I believe he'll eventually reward them, especially as we get deeper in the game.
Throwing on third down, Watson. Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. And he will not get what he needed as he stopped short of the first down at around the 22. They'll give him 8 on the play, and that's going to bring up a fourth down. The Texans send the punter out as he's on to kick it away. His first punt, 45 yards. This looks good as well. They'll look to set up his blockers. Call that a 46-yard punt, though they did get 9 back on the return. And possession will switch hands, 1st and 10. The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. And here we are almost through 3 quarters of play, and this passing game still has not really found any kind of rhythm.
Put it mildly, because they're not even over 100 yards yet. And in today's NFL, where it's a pass-first league, that is quite surprising. Not many teams patient enough to stick with the run. Everybody wants to advance the ball through the air. They've got to get their timing back.
Flacco leaves to Lindsey on the draw. And this has been a familiar sight all afternoon as they stop him behind the line.
He continues to struggle to find a crease to break off a big one and might need to just put that aside and just try and ram his way forward and get what he can.
Throwing on 2nd and 14. Flacco. Whitney merciless. He's the culprit, and that is now his 13th sack of the season as his great year continues. Now after the sack, Flacco and the Broncos come up 3rd and long.
Watch the slant. Watch the slant. Swing. Watch the slant. 36.
3rd and long for Joe Flacco. Looking for Sanders here on the deep ball. It's caught inside the 25. And all the way home for a Broncos score. Emmanuel Sanders, his 2nd touchdown on the season, as his guys are back within a single score.
No, we're not cheering. No, we're not rooting, but I am excited about this, and I know you are too. We got a ball game again after that big-time strike.
Big-time strike, and you are right. Don't go anywhere yet. This thing's not done. Oh, I was just about to say he hadn't missed an extra point all season, but there it is. His first miss, no good. Now he's back out there to boom this one away, maybe with some frustration after the PAT miss. That'll be taken in the end zone. And a pretty good return here. He'll be stopped just shy of the 25 at the 24-yard line. The Texans offense ready to go here for their next drive. And right now these guys, they're shuffling a little bit, maybe doubting, because 3 straight drives have ended with them punting the football away.
Yeah, so you start pointing fingers at each other a little bit, asking a lot of questions. What are you seeing? What are you getting? Maybe trying to narrow down your playbook a little bit and maybe get simpler rather than more complex in order to try and fashion together a drive.
From the 24, they'll go again on 2nd and 10. Throwing again is Watson. And he almost had it defensively. Could have been a game changer there in this second half. Instead, it's 3rd down.
I think he's taking an awful chance with the football right there. You've got to lead, you've got to protect it, and he's taking chances putting it out there in a little bit of jeopardy.
Especially in a spot like this, 4th quarter, as you said, trying to cling to that advantage.
Yeah, that one probably should have been picked up.
Now he'll dump it underneath to his running back, complete. Give him 7 on the play, and it'll be 4th down. I hate to surrender the football when you're nursing a slim lead, but they're going to have to punt it away, trust that defense.
It's the right play at this stage of the game as well. You don't need to press it here because you do have that little bit of a cushion, and you count on your D to make it stand up.
42-yard punt, 6 on the return. And out will come the offense as they take over. The Broncos onto the field, ready to start their next drive. 1st and 10 here for Flacco. And the coverage terrific there as that's knocked down and incomplete. Emmanuel Sanders, the intended receiver. But it'll be second down. An incomplete pass on first down. That leads to a 2nd and 10. Now Flacco. And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked up by Justin Reed. And they'll start out with great field position at the 47-yard line in enemy territory. Of course, they had the option, and they choose to not take the penalty.
They like the results of the play that they just ran, and they elect to let them stand.
I got one. Double tight, guys, double tight.
A handoff for Washington. This will be stopped about 2 yards shy of the marker. 8-yard gain, 2nd and 2. Got to figure now, after getting that turnover, they're just going to be happy to keep the ball on the ground, right?
This is where covering the football, taking care of the ball, all the ball security terms that have ever been used, they come into play for the guys on offense right now. Just take care of it, and they've got a good chance of ending up winning this game.
It's complete to Fuller. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. 12 yards there and a first down. Defensively, they're okay with that. Short little route, tackle him inbounds. Okay.
All right, cliche alert. It's time for someone to make a play because they've got to have something bigger downfield. They can't just take what they give them. They've got to force it and make something big happen for them.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Call it a gain of 3, and that'll make it second down. Under 4 to go now as the clock runs and they come up on second down. A handoff out of the pistol. It's Washington. He's able to work free for about 6 down to the 18. A gain of 3 last play. This time they double it and pick up 6. Well, with the fumble he had earlier, we know how key keeping the football is here. That fumble earlier probably at the forefront of his mind. Just hold on to this thing.
It's also at the forefront of the mind of the guys who are trying to get the ball from him. And since they've seen him drop it on the ground before, they're doing everything possible to have him do it again. They need that turnover.
Right back to Washington. Oh, no, he lost the football. It's picked up by the Broncos. And a big turnover there as his guys will get the football back. Well, when you're leading in the 4th quarter, that's not the penalty you want.
Not at all, and now your discipline comes into question. Having poise this stage of the game, you can't have those kind of plays.
Maybe a critical mistake at this juncture is now they've got a 1st and 10. And now here is another interception. Picked off by Justin Reed. And they'll start with great field position at the 41-yard line. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. Throw left side complete to QT. Just a yard on the catch there. It'll be 2nd and 9. They like going to him in the slot. He catches another one.
I think this comes under the heading of until they stop him, why not go back to him? He has something going really well. Great working relationship with the guy throwing the ball, and they keep making the connection.
Guys, it's game situation. Let's go.
On 2nd and 9, Watson. He's got Fuller. And he's going to get this inside the 30. 11 yards there, first down.
Another nice pickup through the air, and I think a lot of people might expect him to run the ball in this situation, Brandon. But with this lead, they're electing to throw the football. Swings, slants, quick outs, things that they consider safe.
On 1st and 10, Watson. And he's taken to the ground, but he was pulled down by the face mask. Here come the flags, and I believe this is going to be a first down. So the face mask, quite a blessing there as they'll start out of harm's way with a 1st and 10. From the gun, here's Watson. Got an open man, it's QT. Down he goes at the 23, a pickup of 4. It's a 4-yard pickup, and it'll bring up a second down.
At the Broncos' 23-yard line.
Fourth quarter, down to the final 2 minutes, and we've got a one-score game. So it's Texans football as we welcome you back. And let's see what they've come up with offensively after having time to talk it over. Now Watson's throw is taken in by QT. And they will eventually get him down, but he's inside the 5 all the way to the 3. That one a gain of 20 and a first down.
These guys are running offense like you drive. The pedal is down, stomped down. How about that? Back-to-back completions. They are rolling.
So much for being conservative and running that football. Back to throw, Watson. That's caught at the 3. And he'll be brought down right on the edge of the goal line at about the 1-yard line. 3 yards is the gain that time, second and goal. Another yard would probably put this thing in the books. It's second and 1. Now Watson going to sneak it, and he's in for the score. Touchdown, Texans. Deshaun Watson scoring on the sneak from a yard out, and the Texans push further out in front. Fairbairn good with the extra point, and the lead is up to 15 now. So after the touchdown, here's Fairbairn now to kick it away. And no return on this one as the fair catch is signaled for and taken.
The Broncos take over first and 10 at their own 25-yard line.
The offense back out there at the line, ready for their next drive. And last time wasn't pretty. 1 play and an interception. We'll see if they can do better. Under pressure, and the Texans able to get in there for the sack. The former number 1 overall pick, Jadeveon Clowney, has now recorded 10 sacks on the season. After the sack, it's 2nd and 19, and the road gets a bit tougher from here. Flacco looks to throw. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. We have not seen a whole lot of wide-open receivers. Everything seemingly has been contested.
And that's another nice job there to force an incompletion. They've been very cohesive, knowing each other's moves all game long, and they've been out.
And this is intercepted, and that should do it. Picked off by Jaleel Adai. And to the 43. So down inside the 45 to the 43-yard line. That's where they'll take over. On first, here's Washington. He's got a first down and more inside the 30. 15 yards, the Texans pick up the first down. I guess he was saving his best for last, so to speak. Longest run of the day coming here in the fourth quarter right there.
And that type of run makes for a better night for him and his teammates, doesn't it? To be able to produce this late in the game can lead to some big smiles and satisfaction in the locker room after this one's over.
And he'll be out of bounds as he gets this down about the 21 or 22. It's a 6-yard pickup, and it gets him to 2nd and 4.
And there's a run to be happy with. Good, solid yardage. He'll take that anytime you hand the ball to a back.
6 yards on that last play. Here's 2nd and 4.
Watch tight end. Watch tight end. Tight end's right.
Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself.
Okay, I'm not quite sure how to judge that one. Maybe didn't have enough legs underneath him. Mechanics might have been off. Maybe some fatigue. That one came up short.
Yeah, fourth quarter. Maybe you do start to watch. Is the arm there, the leg's still there? This has been a tough game. Now they face a 3rd down and 4 after that incompletion on 2nd down. Watson going to pull back the handoff and keep it himself. And he will lose yardage here back at the 23-yard line. A loss of a yard, and it brings up 4th. Well, they could just run this clock out, but here is the field goal unit on 4th down. This to make it a 3-score game late. So Houston going to come away